nominated by her because he wants her, to help him achieve his ambition as a governor of a certain state. It will be shameful for this government to put forward the name of such a woman.
Well, they rejected her.
For what reason? They rejected her, they said, for federal character because there was already another person serving.
There's got to be a reason,
that when she is brought back, when that man is gone, she can be approved.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we have to take another break. I really apologize, but what you're saying is fascinating. You're watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a microcosm of all our Excellency has been doing from the first to this second tenure. Please.
For example, Loretta Onochie was proposed by a member of the National Assembly.
Briefly, because we've got 20 seconds before we take a break.
Nominated by her because he wants her, to help him achieve his ambition as a governor of a certain state. It will be shameful for this government to put forward the name of such a woman.
Well, they rejected her.
For what reason? They rejected her, they said, for federal character because there was already another person serving.
There's got to be a reason,
that when she is brought back, when that man is gone, she can be approved.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we have to take another break. I really apologize, but what you're saying is fascinating. You're watching.
For example, Loretta Onochie was proposed by a member of the National Assembly.
Briefly, because we've got 20 seconds before we take a break.
Nominated by her because he wants her, to help him achieve his ambition as a governor of a certain state. It will be shameful for this government to put forward the name of such a woman.
Well, they rejected her.
For what reason? They rejected her, they said, for federal character because there was already another person serving.
There's got to
we can say there is racism, there is religion issue there, and if you think about it, and apart from that, what is affecting that country is just two major things: religion and tribalism. Those are the things affecting Nigeria. But with all these things, when it comes to 2023, then that will determine if the country will be fixed or not. You understand? So regardless of how things are going on now in that country, we know that this man, our President Buhari, is leaving. So he's trying to pave a way for his people so they can sit there and enjoy the country oil and facilities. You understand? But what we need to understand here is, regardless of all these things, Nigeria is still blessed. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. And this is what I always say to every youth. There is no need to fight these people. There is no need to bully them or query them. Go to them, speak to them. They are humans like us. You understand?
True.
I give you an example. If a son needed something from his dad, you can't use a violent voice to go to your dad to ask of, let's say, money. No, you have to use a calm voice to learn things from, so you to make things easy for your life. You go to your dad with a calm voice, plead with him. Your dad will end up giving it to you. So things like that, I always say, there's no need to fight these people because they are in power. They can do anything they want to do. Best thing is go speak to them. If there's something, you see, I like Yoruba people. I always say this thing. I like them. Yoruba, they have that culture, that culture that if they needed something from you, they would do anything in terms of dancing, doing one or two things, and they will get it from you. You understand? So things like this, we really have to sit down and look at it. To me, I've been in Nigeria. I think among all Nigerian states, I've been to about up to 30 states. I lived there.
Wow.
So I know the people. That's why till today, till tomorrow, I keep saying it. There's no way in Nigeria I will go. I won't stay there and I won't cope. I will stay. I will do anything I feel like doing. I have to dance with the tune. If they're eating crocodile, I will join them and eat it there. You understand?
Yeah.
So what's come to us, I have to bow my head down, follow them, do whatever they're doing. I bet you, if you go to every part of Nigerian state, if you see them even eating anything, if you join them to eat, they will look at you a foreigner, but they'll be shocked that how can this guy be eating our food like this? You see, this is where you'll be buying their mindset, communication. Hmm?
Yeah.
If they're doing their cultural dance, all these things, join them and do it. They will be more happy to even welcome you. From there, they will start opening things to you slowly by slowly. You understand?
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things that we have to look at.
I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
The Nigerian people are said to be some of the friendliest people in the world.
Yeah.
How come the Nigerian ethnic nationalities, all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, don't seem to get along well or have an undertone of mutual suspicion?
Now, Black League.
Yeah.
Around Black League. I don't know if you are Oyebosef or Chinkosef. I don't know. Which one are you? You are on that Black League. People like that are suspicious.
You don't know if I'm what?
Yeah, Chinko or Oyebo. I don't know.
As the name implies.
No, people like to hide under black a lot, especially today.
No, I have no reason to.
Now, based on that question that you, asked, engineer.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
The question about why the Nigerian people seem to have a mutual suspicion
Yes.
of each other, the ethnic nationalities. I think the people are just not united. As I've always said, Nigeria is a country and not a nation. So that's just the effects of that. That's the side effects of building a country and not a nation. In spite of the similarities, in spite of belonging to the same language family, similar cultures are being shared. There's a lot of intermarriages. There's still that problem of mutual suspicion, and everyone wants to go in just for their own ethnic nationality. No one is looking at the whole nation that is yet to be built, called Nigeria for now.
Don't you think that is because uh, we don't actually know who we are? I mean, what I mean by that is that we are. I see us a bunch of confused people who don't know their religion, their language. I mean, pretty much everything that I think we should be is we are opposite, that today. Don't you think that is the major reason why? Because we seems to be divided along two lines, the Western world and Arab world, if you ask me. And both seems to claim they're on the right path. And to me, I think that is the wrong direction all of us are headed to. We are neither of those two group of people that we are raising towards and claiming that is the best. I think that is our major problem. We need to trace our way back to where we was in. What is Nigeria like? If I might use that word, what our people like back in the 1300, 14, 15, 1600.
Not to cut you short, but your mic is going in and out.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you, but it's going. The volume is going high and low.
I think I know why. So, I don't know where you lost me, but I was saying that the Nigerian space as it is today, we are divided into two major lines of life. If you ask me, the Western way of life and the Arab way of life, if there's anything like that, and we seems to be both seems to be believe that it's on the right path. That is the way we should go. And to me, I think both ways are not our ways. I said that to mean before these two major influence came into our space, what is our people like? Where we are, their lifestyle, their religion, their language. Now I'm talking about dated back to 10, 11, 12, 13, 1400, 15, 16, 17, up to 1800 before we start having our ghost visitors. I think that is where we should start from. We should trace our way back. I'm not saying we should go back and start living that lifestyle literally, which is not even possible anyway. But we should have a basic understanding of what life, what kind of civilization, what was life then, and when we're wrong, then we know if we're actually on the right path or on the wrong path, or if we need to retrace ourselves and follow a different route, or we need, I think that is what we need to look into first before we can even think of, ever coming together and trust each other as before we can build a nation. I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm saying anything at all. Now
yeah.
that being said, that is the Nigeria that Rochas Okorocha wants to run on and achieve his dream. How possible is that? And what are his chances?
But that's a lot of questions in one. But
Okay, tell me who is Rochas? You as a person that tell me what you know about Rochas Okorocha as a
well,
politician.
I'll start with your first question about Nigerians living together and building a nation, in essence. And you went back to the ancient times and how we used to live. It's well documented history that Africans were the ones who never lived homogeneously. Every African nation, as you had it before, not these 54 countries that we have today. Then none of these 54 countries existed, Nigeria inclusive. Before, and it's a shame we're not taught our own history. Before then, the Africans living in Africa were the most diverse people. We still are. So every nation had in its domain different ethnic nationalities, different with different languages, all thriving within one nation. So the Africans were the first people to show that they can share power without war within a national space. It's documented history, it's world history. So when you talk about the early empires, some like the ancient Egyptian civilization, which used to be called Kemet. The early Egyptian civilization had people from all over the world. The first metropolitan city in the world was in Africa, a city called Memphis. Uh, the foremost Greek philosopher is called Herodotus.
When you say Memphis, you mean Memphis, Memphis? Is it the
What
Memphis
do you
that
mean?
will come to Memphis that will come to North? I mean Memphis in the
No, no, no. You're talking about
in Africa.
Memphis, Tennessee. You
Yeah.
talk about Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay, and that Memphis was named after the original Memphis, which is a city in Africa.
Okay.
That's the
What
first cosmopolitan city in the world.
what part of Africa? What region?
That's in East Africa, current day Egypt.
East Africa. Okay.
Yes. And that came from the writings of Herodotus, who you can argue is the number one Greek philosopher at all time and historian. He in his writings he wrote about Memphis. He said he described it a thriving metropolitan city. So we have that as the first cosmopolitan city in the world. It's Memphis. So Africans have shown capacity to live with diverse views, diverse cultures, and still share power without any war. There's no other people on earth that have successfully run such governments. The same with the West African empires. Those came up during Africa's third golden age. Africa has had three golden ages so far. During the last golden age we had was the West Africans who took it up. We had thriving empires that were well renowned, from Mali Empire to Ghana Empire to Songhai Empire, all in one region. Those are where you have the first universities in the world. So Africans have shown that they're capable of running diverse nations and thrive, and the nations being world powers. All those nations I just named, the Asian African nations, they were world powers in their day. So how do we have it today? Well, we're broken into different countries by the Europeans, and we cannot seem to manage power amongst each other. There's so much suspicion. But I'm referring to the same people. So we have shown ourselves capable of doing that. And just by uniting, we will show ourselves capable of achieving that once again. And to your second question about Rochas Okorocha, he's a top contender in
But
this in
before
the.
you go there, don't think we are very far off of this story that you just narrated, because we are not even, you know, first of all, we need to, the majority of us need to, come to realization and agree that yes, that is our story, that's our history. Then we now start making a deliberate attempt to actually trace our way from where we are right now. So that's it. We are very far off, and we might not even
I don't understand what you mean by agreeing that is our history. That is our
Majority,
history
no,
for a fact.
majority of the people don't know, are not aware of this history that you're
Yeah,
saying.
we are just ignorant of history. It's not
That's
like
what
we
I'm
could
saying.
deny it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. How do you, get majority? It has to take the majority of people to say
I
yes.
mean,
This is
it
where we
is
are coming from.
it is that way because history is not being taught, especially in Africa. All the African countries, none of them teach history as part of the educational curriculum. That's why we grow up not knowing the history. So the only place you can learn the history is if you take it upon yourself and do your independent research. And there's tons of information there. Nothing can be completely hidden. There's nothing. So I think when we get tired of the position we're in, we will do that independent research, of which I think it's begun. It's already begun. That's how platforms like this exist. They never existed before, where people talk about these things regular.
Well, that's one of the benefit of the information age revolution, wherever you choose to put it, right?
Right.
Now back to the man in question, Okorocha.
Are you talking about his chances to become president?
What do you know about Rochas Okorocha as a politician? Then before we begin to go analyze his chances and whatnot.
Rochas Okorocha has been in Nigeria's political arena for a while now. He comes from Imo State in southeastern Nigeria. I think he lived majority of his life growing up in the north, in northern part of Nigeria. I think Jos Plateau State to be precise. And right when he got into politics, he contested a couple times to be president. And
Yeah, I still remember back in the days with his
yeah,
tour bus,
yes, and he lost to General Buhari at that time a couple times too. So he has been in that circle for a while now, trying to be president. And that's even before he became governor of Imo State. So after he tried unsuccessfully to become president, he contested to become governor under the party All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA.
God.
Yes, and he won overwhelmingly. He actually made history then because Imo State was controlled by the PDP.
The Ubas,
And
the
yeah,
Ubas family to be precise, Abi.
no, the Ubas are in Anambra.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think a man called Ohakim was the governor then. So he defeated the PDP, which was the sitting incumbent party,
Ruling part.
and became governor successfully. And he went on to get reelected 4 years later. And he has completed his 8 terms. And from there, he went to the Senate. And I think the next destination for him that he's looking at is to be president, because that has been his goal all along. As for, hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. As for his chances to become president, as we speak, he does have a really good job.
Well, first,
He does have a really good. He has a really good stance right now.
first of all, within that region first, the east, that space, what are his chances of even topping other, you know, top-notch candidates who also have a good resume too politically?
They
What are his
have good resume politically, but I'm not sure it's better than his. If you look at the resume plus the reach, he has he has a great political reach. And by reach, I mean he's known in other geopolitical zones, not just the Southeast. The top contenders to come from the Southeast will be people like Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State. It would be people like Einaya Abaribe, the current minority leader in the Senate. It will be people like former deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu. Uh, who else would? Yeah, the current Minister of Science and Technology, Obonaya Onu.
Where do you put it? World Trade boss, Iwela.
Iweala is not even looking to contest.
I mean,
She's busy at the she's busy enough at the World Trade Organization. She already has enough on her plate. She's too distracted to focus on being president.
What are the chances that if the power that be, the international community say, hey, I think it's our time we have our own say in any way who runs that country and decide to push her in. Don't you see that the possibility of that?
No, I don't see it for 2023. I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other lady to Ezekwesili.
Ezekwesili might want to contest, but she will not be a top contender.
Then the current Minister of Labor.
Minister of Labor. Who's the Minister of Labor? Chris Ngige.
Chris Ngige, yes.
Former governor. He was a former governor.
Yes.
Yes, Chris Ngige might be in the race.
Minister of Labor.
Yes, he is the current Minister of Labor, Chris Ngige. Well, you might throw Chris Ngige there. But out of all those I've mentioned, those are the top contenders. Okorocha still has a slight edge. He still has a slight edge. Out of all of them, Okorocha is the only one currently holding traditional titles from the north. How does that fit in? If we're talking politics, it's all numbers. The Southeast has the least number of voters in all the geopolitical zones. So if somebody from the Southeast were to emerge, they have to make alliances with other geopolitical zones. And that's exactly how I mean. So he is actively doing that.
There's another man, Kalu.
Oji Uzo Kalu, out of all of them, he's the one with the strongest EFCC case. He just came out of jail, and the EFCC is trying to start the case all over again. So he might be too busy. They might keep him busy.
Me and you know, say for Nigeria, that is not actually a factor.
Yes, but I can see your point.
There's easy way to go around that one. Just to join the power that be, and that's it. Or 45, whatever they need. Finance the campaign if so be it. So that is not a strong factor. It is a factor, but I don't think that is strong enough to.
I don't see him as a candidate because when he was governor, his deputy was Einaya Abaribe, the current minority leader in the Senate. So even within his state, he has formidable opposition already.
Boy, I won't say top down. He stand out in that state too. I'm apart from. He stand out.
Who, Kalu?
Yes, he has this.
I'm telling you.
It's also a mainstream character like that of Okorocha, because that is what Okorocha is actually having. The edge he has over this character you mentioned. He's mainstream. He's somebody who the youth can relate with, women can relate with. He's in the north doing some school stuff. It is everywhere. That's a given. The same thing you can say of Kalu. Kalu, I mean, remember his days as a governor, Iyumba, if I'm not mistaken, flourished because of him. I mean, it was in the mainstream of the whole Karetu during his time. So,
I'm
I mean,
I'm
they
I'm
have
I'm
that.
I'm speaking specifically about the southeastern politicians reaching out to other zones.
That's what I'm saying.
Okorocha,
Okorocha and Kalu are in the same range.
Okorocha still has an edge over Kalu. Okorocha speaks, I think, better Hausa than he does Igbo.
Well, if that is the criteria, well, fine.
No, I'm
We can.
talking about reaching to the people. Because most of those people, you go up there speaking good grammar, they don't understand. But when you speak their language, it has a bigger impact.
Kano na football champion, and you know how Nigerian glorify football. Kano
Well,
na football champion.
Okorocha has education. He has a lot of. There's this foundation he runs. I think it's called Rochas Foundation,
Yeah, that's why I say
where he gives. He currently has over 15,000 students on the scholarship through his foundation.
That is why I say mainstream politics. They are.
And he's been doing that before he got into politics. So you will not say, oh, he stole money from government and that's why he's doing it.
I don't think anybody will say that of Kalu too. Kalu is a renowned businessman before he becomes governor. So I mean,
People look at Kalu as part of that old establishment that nobody could go against. If you look at Kalu, he's not the one who started politics in his family. His mother is actually the main politician from that state. She calls the shots. Kalu came from that political family. So the people in the southeast, I think, from what I'm hearing, is they're getting fed up of that establishment type politics, the old establishment, the old people. They want to see new faces. Rochas is a bit of a new.
It's not new. It's just that he has a way to, stick himself into the conversation anytime, any day. Regard, no matter what conversation it is, as far as mainstream, he has a way of just, inserting himself into the conversation. So he's still relevant.
He's still relevant.
Since the one that he stepped into the arena, he's been relevant to date. So I give it to him. I give that to him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if a politician from the southeast.
Let's hear from Plenty Water. Plenty Water, as my people go talk. Are you there? If you can hear me, I think you unmute yourself. Plenty Water. Don't jabber. All right.
So as I was saying, from the southeast, if a president were to emerge from there, it would be Rochas Okorocha. He has the best chances for now.
He has the best chances. Now, coming out of that zone, out of that southeast, now talking about the whole region, south. Now, if you rate him so high within this own region among the 5 states, which is the Igbo states now, if you now say, okay, if you score him so high that he actually crush everybody from that region, another zone that he has to conquer, which is the south side, before even taking on the whole region, he has characters like Amechi, Wike, he has Amechi, Wike, Oshomole, what's his name? Obaseki. Then before you come down to the southwest, talk about Tinubu, the current vice president, Fayemi, Amusun. I can go on and on. So, what are his chances among these people, among these characters that I just mentioned? Sorry, just to that. Let me hear from Plenty Water. Plenty water. How far you did there? Hello? Sorry. Plenty water. They hear me. Plenty water. All right, go ahead. Black League. So, what are his chances among these? I mean, the largest South South now. Because
Well, currently,
if you said it's going to be easy to maneuver his way, out of the five states, we are going to 70 states now. So how is he going to come out of that?
currently as we have it in southern Nigeria, the politics going on there is the top contenders know that if they're going with the zoning arrangement that the PDP originally initiated, the Southeast should be the one to produce the next president. If you're going by that arrangement.
Well, me and you
But
know that.
yeah, but it's politics, so there'll be a lot of dialogue involved. The top two people gunning for presidency in the south, in southern Nigeria, the top two are Bola Tinubu of Lagos and Nyesom Wike of Rivers. So if Okorocha can get Wike, which he's already in dialogue with Wike, I think he already has Wike on his side. With or without Tinubu, he could take the South. If he has Wike on his side, which he's already actively working towards that. So that's two geopolitical regions out of three in the South. That's majority.
But I don't think it's going to be that easy the way you just.
No, none of it will be easy.
What do you think is going to offer Wike for him to fulfill his own ambition for him?
Well, Wike doesn't have a presidential. Wike doesn't have a presidential ambition, although his ambition lies within the presidency.
Exactly. So, what do you think the offer would be for him to say, okay, fine, I'll support you. I'll pipe down low. Let me follow you. Let me support you. What do you think he's going to offer? What do you think he's going to take?
Well, both personalities
Put into consideration. Put into consideration. This man has been burning bar since day one he stepped in fact, even before he stepped in as a governor, he was a minister. He has been putting in his money where his ambition is. Now we're talking about pretty much 10 years running. So I mean, we should wait. Okorocha gets where he goes, say, you know what? This is it. I'll give you this. What do you think? What is that thing? What is that position? What is that offer that will make Wike to just say, okay, fine, yeah.
Well, both personalities are well-grounded politicians. They understand the art of dialogue. So I don't know what offer or what position. All I know is both of them are well-grounded politicians.
Because now, no be bad with the talk here. Wike all inside. Wike no be rich, sir. Wike self the leg don't stretch around, cut across both the parties, and he's get mad for naught. So he's a man who has been, consciously working towards his ambition, and he has a chance now. The same chance that the Okorocha has. It's going to be a tough one. Again, you just zoom everyone out of that zone and just say Tinubu is the main guy. Well, Fayemi is a very sellable character too. Remember, there's a very tight correlation between campaign money and electoral and the candidate himself. So Fayemi is a sellable character, whether you like it or not. Is calm. He fall into that intellectual elite that we talk about. Is smooth, is rich, it's an international community property. I mean, so if you just say, oh, Tinubu is a favorite. After me, I think that guy is a favorite in that region. Yeah, Tinubu self, I know we say I would just push him out like that, but in this present moment, with the times where we deal with everything that is going on, I don't think you can just say, "Oh, push fire me on one side like that." That guy is solid.
Well, I'm not putting him.
In the
I'm
eyes of
not.
the in the eyes of the public, is more sellable, is more acceptable to the public than Tinubu.
Yeah.
Bar, yes, you know get a bar, which is also an advantage. If you know get bar, that is now people like you, the vultures they look for, right? They put your money around you, you answer to them at the end of the day. So that is not actually a disadvantage. It's an advantage him not having the bar, but as a character is there. The northern themselves look at him somebody that they can rely on in terms of who go who no go cut out to Tinubu when he finally get the power. So he has equal. I rate him high. I, to me in that zone than Tinubu.
Well, do you know? First of all, Fire Me is in the APC, correct?
Yeah, they are both in APC.
Okay. Do you know that Fire Me has been to River State to commission projects, a PDP state?
Okay, that yes.
I'm telling you, these men are politicians.
So that's what I said. It's not somebody.
Party affiliations aside,
See,
Fire Me
so
is already showing you where he would pitch his tent with. If he has to, it will be Wiki.
So we are saying, say, ain't gonna give up.
So that's why I
He's not gonna
narrowed the
follow
top
to.
contenders. That's why I narrowed the top contenders to Tinubu and Wiki going for presidency in the
Yeah.
South. And those are the ones who Okorocha would have to contend with, him coming from the Southeast.
Okay. Well, that's a given. But more we hear from Plenty Water. Plenty Water, you did there. Maybe in the in the busy somewhere. Now, you said he's not going for. Say the main two people that are going for the number one seat head on are Wiki and Tinubu. Right?
In the South, as it is, Wike, Tinubu, and Okorocha from the South.
Now let's not pitch them against the major opponent now, which is the northern part. They are equally, apart from let's put their voting power aside, they also have solid characters too who are nothing else if not for if not the presidency. They are head bent on being the number one citizen. Verify number one guy. Tambawa is on it. The current governor of Bauchi is also up there. Atiku is there. Alimodi Sheriff. Alimodi Sheriff, or is the current governor, Zulum. Where again do I? Yeah, these are guys who are saying, well, apart from Zulum and Sheriff, who have who are still on the background, but these other guys are made it known to say yes, that is it or nothing else. So how do you see Okorocha navigating these characters? Let's say, okay, fine, he was able to conquer, get a Tinubu, get a Wiki or Tinubu on his side, and at the end of the day, beat either of them. So I ain't going to navigate the North before we now talk about the vote.
Well, that has been Okorocha's area of concentration to begin with, was always the North. He knows the type of votes that are there, and he knows once he can get the North, he has majority vote. All he needs is one geopolitical zone in the South, and he cruises to victory. So he's already working on dialoguing with the Northern political elite and the traditional elite. to garner the votes there and support. That's all he's mobilizing right now, and he's doing it at a very steady pace. So let's just wait and see how things unfold from here on.
Okay, another. Let's say fine, he was able to navigate all these men, delegate and other. The main constituency now, the main guys, which I believe is not too far from them, which are the youth. What are the advice you want to see him? What are the points that you want him to take advantage of regarding how to approach the youth come 2023?
Yes, Okorocha is one of the politicians that are young at heart, if I could put it that way. So he knows how to reach out to the youth. And mind you, before he went into politics, he's always had a foundation called Rochas Foundation, dedicated to giving scholarships out to young people. So he has shown commitment to the personal development of the young people of Nigeria. And he has schools all over the country, all over uh, in different geopolitical zones in Nigeria. He has schools and is zero school fees and tuition. So he does have that reach to the youth. It would be a easy sell to the youth.
All right. That note. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I say on that note, we'll finish up now.
All right. Peace.